Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching the coverage for President Dr Passant Famhi's arrival in the French capital, Paris, on Thursday to participate in the Paris International Conference on Libya. Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassem Radi said President Sisi's participation in this important conference comes in response to the invitation of the French President Emmanuel Macron and in light of very strong relations between Egypt and France. And in this context, dear viewers, as Nile TV completes its coverage of President Dr Passant's visit to France. We have with us on the phone Dr Passant Famhi, an economics expert. A very good day, Mrs. Passant.
Very much. Good day to you.
Ms. Passant, of course, we start off with the Egyptian-French relations and the importance of the strong relations between Egypt and France. Please, could you tell us more about this?
Well, the Egyptian-French relationship is for the decades in the past, meaning it started very long time ago. And actually, it is in all aspects of life, if we start by saying in culture, education, tourism, economic activities, investments. If you talk about investments, we have green economy, blue economy, railways, infrastructure. French have been here since decades, and we have a very strong relationship with the French state because it dates back to, if you like, hundreds of years. I don't want to say decades, but more than that. So, and the role of the French country as well, or the French government in the region is extremely important, especially in Africa. They have been in Africa for a very long time. They understand it. So I think strengthening this relationship will help solve or put solutions to the very complicated problems which occurred recently on the face of the ground. For instance, if we talk about the change of climate, the illegal immigration, if we talk about as well the famine which is affecting Africa, the diseases, and it's a very long list. The problems of the Mediterranean, the problems in Libya, in Sudan, the problem in Lebanon, Syria, the area, all the area actually, Africa and part of the Middle East, we have very long list of problems, and the French have been there for a very long time.
Doctor, in this context, you're discussing, of course, Egypt's pivotal role in supporting the political track in Libya at the bilateral, regional, and international levels, of course.
Yes, because now the problems, because of the technology can't totally the distances. So when a problem occurs somewhere, Libya is on the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean is on the heart of the globe. And all countries, European, African, left and right, are affected by the problems in Libya, affected by the problems in Syria and Lebanon. We need stability, the problems in Africa. Egypt and France can play a major role in putting solutions to all that long list. Again, the Palestinian problem is a very critical one. The barrage de la Renaissance is a very big problem as well, problems with Ethiopia. So I think the French-Egyptian relationship is extremely important to putting solutions to all those complicated problems. We can work together on finding ways to solve at least that type of long list, not only together, but proposing it to the whole world. So I want to go back that our relation is very strong. It's a strategic one, and we will continue to have that strong relationship because I said it dates back decades. We know how to talk to each other. We understand each other. And inshallah, in the future, the cooperation between France and Egypt will affect positively, to start with, all the problems of the region. And second, in the investment side and economic side, whereby the cooperation between the two countries can help developing not only Africa, but the region surrounding us.
Dr. Passant, of course, in the Paris International Conference on Libya, on the solidarity of the international community to support Libya during the historic turning point it is going through currently. How do you see this from your point of view when President Dr Passant makes it a very important issue that he focuses on in this very important international conference?
President Sisi had a clear vision about not only the region, but the whole world. If you have a problem somewhere, it affects the whole world. Stability of Libya is the stability of the region, stability of the Mediterranean, stability of Europe because of illegal immigration. So when Mr. President presents the cases, he knows very well, not only from our angle, which is an extremely important angle, but again, or the most important
Dr. Passant, could you please give us minutes, because President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is on air now, so we have to move to the President, and we'll be right back to you again, please.
ذلك التاريخ ومصر منخفضة.
Welcome back, dear viewers. We're still watching the coverage of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's, of course, we're watching President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's, who arrived earlier to Charles de Gaulle Airport in the French capital, Paris. Of course, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is there to participate in the Paris International Conference on Libya. And presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassam Radi said that President el-Sisi's participation in this important conference comes in response to the invitation of the French president, of course, Emmanuel Macron, and in light of the strong relations between Egypt and France. And here we have to mention that President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi worked very hard on relations between Egypt and all international countries in, of course, Africa and in the West and in Europe. And President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has been working very strong internationally on relations between Egypt and every single country around the world. He visited many countries as the first president of Egypt to go and visit these countries. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi discussed and highlights today Egypt's pivotal role in supporting the political track in Libya at the bilateral, regional and international levels. He also intends to focus during the Paris International Conference on Libya on the solidarity of the international community to support Libya during the historical turning point that the country Libya is witnessing and is going through nowadays. And of course, Egypt is standing with Libya and has a very important stance with Libya under the auspices of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Libya is to hold elections expected due to be scheduled in December, as well as the exit of all the foreign forces, mercenaries and all foreign fighters from the Libyan lands, in addition to shedding light on the ongoing Egyptian efforts in this regards at various economic, political and security levels. The President is also scheduled to hold a series of meetings with senior French officials to discuss ways of enhancing economic cooperation, commercial investment and military fields between the two countries. President Sisi will also meet a number of heads of states to discuss promoting bilateral cooperation frameworks and consulting on various regional and international efforts. Dear viewers, and in this context, we are still going to be with you, Nile TV International, for the full coverage of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's very important visit to the French capital, Paris, and his, of course, bilateral talks and discussions with the French President, Emmanuel Macron. Stay tuned. We will be back again with more coverage, with more phone calls to tell you more about the ongoings of this very important visit.